Okay, so that was our introduction for Pathfinder. We are up to, I'll bring up my book with all the details on it. We're up to session number 98 for our Friday crew. They have survived 98 sessions of this storyline so far. We're up to season 5, episode 25. And we're up to video 597. So it looks like next Friday will be episode 600 of my video blog of all our game sessions.
6 episodes! Yay!
Every easy session will all be fun. Victory session.
Well,
free loot session.
Well, I think it will be the last D&D one until August, I believe. Let me just look at our timing for that. Yeah, it will be the last D&D one before August.
Ooh. I better start cashing in some papers. And no one from D&D Fridays here to hear that threat, so...
But I hope you appreciated that everyone who was at D&D Friday all said, hey, it should be a bonus treasure session.
I'm sure I can dig up many items that you can be given freely from the Dark Fae.
Yeah. As I said, time to cash in some papers.
So we are currently on the first day of the 6th month, 4,710. It is getting close to the characters actually achieving level 6.
Ooh.
Because technically they become 6th level after the mid-year mark. And how much of this dungeon will they manage to do before then is up to them.
Surprisingly little.
Hopefully we will find the answers Lady Hindmarch is seeking.
Hurrah!
And don't worry, you have actually done a chunk of the book already. As this was the picture of said battle.
Yep.
With the heroic...
It looks pretty cool in picture form.
Mm-hmm.
It does look very cool.
It didn't look cool when we were fighting.
Only in my head.
There you go, that's right.
And you are still in the morning of your first day on the island. How bad could it get?
That's why you're morning sleeping. I'm doing the sound effects for you tonight.
Okay, so you have been sent to the... If I can actually look up the name of the island, Rivenrake Island, to look for a Pathfinder said to be there who may have information about horrors escaping from Hollow Mountain, as it is called on the island, which is the other end of an ancient relic known as the Irispan, a bridge that once spanned from Hollow Mountain all the way to Magnamar. Now only remnants of it remain on the island chain between the two. And a couple of bits sticking up out of the water. So, I think that's a good catch-up for where the story is, unless players want to add more. So we will start with introducing Jeremy.
Good evening all. Yes, I'm playing Cordar, the elven half-human would-be warrior, would-be hero of the small town of Sandpoint in western Varisia. Dreams of making the Pathfinder Society great again. Having dreamt of it since he was a kid and discovered it wasn't quite what he thought it was, but he's dreaming of making it better.
How could he not make it better being who he is?
MPSGA.
Okay, also online we have Mark.
Hi, I'm playing Sparky, the hairless dwarven rogue, a new Pathfinder race, I've been told. Not a gnome, but a dwarf, a hairless dwarf. I try to look after Corda as much as I can. I try.
And what does Sparky remember of the last session?
Sparky remembers of two people walking across a bit of water across a chasm, and then seeing big, angry, birdy kind of insect things attack people, and I stood back as far as possible.
Well, more mosquito-esque.
Giant mosquitoes.
It was Cordar and dudes that had to deal with all the pain with it. I just stood back in the back. Yeah. I was looking after Willie at the time, so that's my excuse.
Up next we have Izzy.
Hey, I'm Izzy. I'm playing Violent Slaughing, the Thassilonian witch. So last session, bet on Dudes Are Winning, lost money, and I think, Violence doesn't remember much of the conflicts that took place after that. I think she was just in shock and losing so much money.
Well, next time I'm sure you won't bet on Doozer or Willie.
Right.
You can always bet on Willie.
I bet against Willie.
Well, that's always a mistake.
Well, I mean, didn't Doozer win, so...
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, well, yeah. Your arm's still attached, I guess.
Yeah, and by the way, Doozer needed to move on. Like, this is what he was there for. And I'm always happy to help the less fortunate to move forward with their lives. I'm a very giving individual.
Took one for the team.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. It's good to see such team spirit and camaraderie.
Yeah.
Which of course brings us to Peter.
Greetings. I'm Peter. I'm playing the Lord Willie One Kenobi, the delusional monk from Yankerhoff. And yes, I wasn't playing last game, so unfortunately, I lost to Doozer.
It almost cost you an arm and a leg.
Well, most of it now anyway. I'm sure you didn't need to shake too much.
It's nothing new to me. All the way through my adventuring career, I've always had either broken, smashed. This is just the same thing in a different vein, that's all.
And I'm sure the sound of duct tape of a morning is a calming sound.
Yeah, very much so.
I got this! Rip the duct tape.
Yeah.
Okay. Up next we have is Kesley.
Hello, I am playing Fandra the Druid Elf. Originally sent as oversight to see what's going on with these guys. Our first time in the field and realizing field work is hard work and it's terrifying and she hates it. So it's a fun time.
I am sure if given the option, it's like, would you like to do this? Do what? Whatever else? Yes, I'll do that.
Exactly.
So, by the sound of it, the meeting in her dreams is not necessarily time to immediately expand things like what's the quarter.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so you are just on the edge of a ravine. You've just seen your fearless leader get poked a couple of times. Your gruff barbarian carrying two puppies try to muscle his way across, also get grabbed by these giant mosquitoes and manage to hack their way through them and get to the other side. So apparently you solved the question of why did the chicken cross the ravine.
Okay, so hopefully, yep, get to the other side. I think we've demonstrated and confirmed that the log is fairly safe and secure. Corda will tie the rope off that was tied around him to another tree nearby, and then people should be able to get across very easily.
It is fairly stable. Any of you not trained in acrobatics?
Nope, I am in fact trained.
Nope, we're good.
Okay, so apparently we have a lot
Yeah,
of
I'm
skilled.
good.
We have a lot of skilled people who can just follow the guide and make it across the log without any issues. Now that someone has set up a guide route.
Excellent.
Once everyone's across, Corda go back across, untie the rope, and then cross back across the log.
Okay. You manage to travel further into the island following the path, and you find yourself coming to a dead-end clearing. So each of you get to make a perception roll as you're there. Actually, I think survival would be the better roll, so we'll make it a survival roll.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Corda just waits for the natural 20. He's going to need later in the day for his research.
Well, by this later in the day, I'm sure you've got plenty more in you.
Something like that. Survival, you said? You want to do it?
Survival.
27 then, upgraded for Corda.
Yeah, okay.
20, 26 for Fondra.
13 for balance.
22 for Sparky.
There's no skill I'm trained in.
23 for me.
So violence is like, well, this looks like the end, whereas everyone else notices a path that is cleverly hidden.
So not seeming like it looks to be deliberately hidden, as opposed to just being an animal path that was all animals.
And Corda recognizes it as a Pathfinder designed blind to basically hide a path.
Yep.
It's something that the Pathfinders taught him how to do.
Yep. Assuming that there's nothing else in the clearing, obviously, or nothing obvious in the clearing, I should say. Corda will keep moving across, heading towards the blind, and carefully pull it back to allow others to get through.
Oh, where did that come from? That's different. I will follow.
I suspect this is definitely the path that awesome.
Okay.
The ones that we're following, Leyland. I suspect this is the way that Leyland went.
And okay, so as you continue on, you find yourself in a larger clearing that is set up as a camp. And sitting in the camp, you see the guy you're supposed to meet waiting there for you.
After everyone's gone through, Corda will carefully replace the blind and get back.
He's as you step into the clearing, he says, "I have an arrow knocked, and you're in my sights, friends. I ask that you not take one step closer, or I'll be forced to place my arrow dangerously close to your heart. What is it you wish from me?"
How far from the blind was this clearing?
It probably would have been maybe about 50 to 100 feet.
Okay. So
And the
this
person
chances up quarter.
Corda may have been in front still.
Exactly. Could be back to the front again. Yep. Quarter will hold his hands up non-threateningly.
And you do notice that he is sitting with a sword across his lap, drawn, but no bow in his hand as he says that.
Right. Okay, so sitting on the ground, no sure. Okay. Okay, I will so and not necessarily way above head, but just non-threateningly away from the hilted sword. And so I'll say, greetings, hello. And my name is Cordar. My colleagues and I were sent by the Society to come and find you. If you be Leyland Pathfinder.
Okay, he does nod his head, and he gestures you into camp to sit down. Give me a perception roll as you enter.
There we go. Cordar's full completely.
There's obviously bowmen around the camp hidden, but
I got a total of 12 with my +9.
Yep, you're all comfortable. You have no problems walking into the camp. Of course, it's not a trap. He's a Pathfinder.
No. That's
25.
be a friend.
Okay, so Violet sees a man identical to the one in the camp, silently walking along one of the branches with a bow drawn.
Hey, it would be nice if you could roll with the bow. We're not here to threaten. Nod my head towards the archer.
Guy in the camp says, "I'm always careful about strangers."
Appreciate that. But we do not mean any harm.
Says, "That remains to be seen." He says, "Why don't you take a seat? If harm you bring, harm you shall receive."
Fair enough. I guess I'll sit down.
I'm going to stay on my feet, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be rude.
Cordar probably quite happy to sit down at the moment. Still feeling a little lightheaded after the mosquito.
Yeah, mosquitoes suck, don't they?
Indeed. Thank you for doing training.
Can I sit down, but can I sit in front of Willie? Just providing some protection if I need to.
You don't provide as much considering Willie is actually standing.
I know,
But you may protect him from a groin shot if that's your intent.
That's my intent. One to the head for me, one less to the groin for Willie.
Though it does beg the question, who are you protecting? The person you said you're going to protect or someone else in the party?
Well, Willie and I have got a better relationship than the important stage. It kind of changes from day to day. I'm playing the character, not playing me.
The only reason I asked that is because at the start of the session you were talking about protecting Corda.
Oh yeah, if you caught us, it's well, I'll look after him, but I'm not going to... Willie's always my favourite, so yeah, there you go. So.
Okay, you do notice that all of you are covered in small insect bites, though Willie doesn't seem to have a single one on him.
I'm not really noticing the small insect bites compared to the really big insect bites.
I was going to say, perspective here.
Well, I'm sure that insects of unusual size don't really exist.
Exactly.
Okay, so he starts stoking up a fire and puts on some herbs into the fire itself. He says,
if we talk about the one that was still in the clearing or the archer in the trees?
I will answer with yes.
They look identical.
Okay, the point is, Cordar, well, he's probably noticed the artillery tree sound, actually being specifically trying to be stealthy aside from me spotting to there.
He is quite
They
stealthy.
look identical. The idea being that it's still two people, apparently, and one of them is now stoking the fire that was hitting. Is that right?
Yep, that is correct.
And the archer is still standing in defense.
He's supposedly putting in the water for the tea, I assume.
No, he's actually thrown the herbs directly into the fire.
Oh.
He says that should keep most of the insects at bay while we talk, giving you some respite.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
But at least by being bold, she says to Sparky, you should have less of the creatures that like to burrow beneath the hair follicles and basically rot your brain.
I appreciate the comment, but I don't appreciate it. I've got a bit of a halfway on that one. So I give him a look of, sure, okay. In my sarcastic dwarven, naked dwarf look.
He says, so his response to that is, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that right now, maybe later.
When he makes a comment about keeping the insects away, Cordar, I'll make an offhand comment in my ear. Hey, we've got one cover that much wrong. It's the big ones around here that be a problem.
He says it keeps those away too. Their size matters not to this repellent.
Very good. I'm curious, so you obviously feel comfortable up here, you've been waiting, is there anything that needs to be reported? Or are you, from what the Heinreich's perspective, we just got told that Leyland had contacted them and we were going to find him. Were we actually trying to get him back there, or just make contact, or what was the plan?
The idea was to make contact as he knows the island better than anyone at this stage.
Okay, yeah. So we are still trying to explore the island. It was the idea, the fact that he was going to make the, he was effectively likely to be a source of information.
That is correct.
In which case then, yeah, Cordar will be happy to engage in the conversation and share rations or drink whatever type of stuff is appropriate.
Okay, so what he can report is that a trio of fancy folk arrived recently. Their ship approached a week ago. He watched from a tall tree as they disembarked, pointing in the direction of the cove. There seemed to be an argument, and half of them slaughtered the two sailors before setting off into the forest. He followed them for a time, and he describes their leader as a mutated monster with a tentacle for a back, and that he'll fit right in here on the island.
Tentacle for a back. That's interesting.
I'm sure it has its uses, he says.
What does he mean by that'll fit in on this island? Is everything weird and dangerous?
He just looks directly at Thunder and says, yes.
Well, the insect are much bigger, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Based on his description of the people at the landing party, and obviously, I'll try and get more information or guide conversation in the way that trying to work out, did it look like it was more the bunch of pirates or the Little Kings party that was ahead of us?
He would not think the Lenorn Kings would be into tentacles, but who knows? But he did also see a few days ago, he found 3 camped not far from the shrine of some fish person monster. They looked like adventurers, a human man with a scimitar and clad in shiny bright blue breastplate, a half-elf woman who carried a Lucerne hammer and wore a dress that looked like it was made of peacock feathers, and a human woman with red hair, fancy leather outfit that looked like it was taken out of some overwrought opera. His description of her reminds you of Varisan Bavarisky, and he does describe the Sword of Pride at the same time.
Yeah. And as part of Varisan Bavarisky, did we meet her in what was shown with the...
She was the actress on the ship.
The actress on the boat?
The one who tried to kill herself.
Yeah. Okay, that was my second. That's all. Hang on, yeah. I took off my head. Yes, cool.
And the one that had convinced Parry to hand over the sword, considering no one could take it from Parry if Parry didn't give it to them.
Yeah. So this was obviously a different Titan than the best one you landed to tentacle.
That is correct.
And you didn't see this party come shore, you just saw them camped, is that right?
Yeah, he saw them camped and they went into the mountain via the shrine.
Right.
He's never entered via that area, so he doesn't know where they have ended up. Does that bring you up to speed, he says?
And sounds very good. Would you be able to sort of sketch a map of the area that we're talking about? You say you don't have entered from the temple side, it implies that you've entered from other places?
Well, he goes and delves from time to time, he says. He can show you how to get to the shrine or how to get to a bunker where he also found entrances. He doesn't recommend going right up to the mountain front yourself. You don't really seem equipped to deal with that.
Even equipped for climbing, or is there other dangers that we're likely to face if we go straight up?
He says yes.
Climbing?
And dangers.
And dangers. Right. Would you be interested in accompanying us while we explore the depths of the mountain and all the heights of the mountain?
He shakes his head, saying, I have learned to pick and choose my journeys into the mountain, and now is not a good time for me to do so.
You say that with the implication of portent or fate, are you saying now for use individually or now for a good time generally?
He looks off to the side into the trees and sort of shrugs a bit and says, yes.
I was not expecting that answer. I've got to give you my wars.
Especially if both of them can be valid.
Indeed. But okay, if you're able to provide a map of the island, whatever it is, like the things I've covered so far, if it hasn't necessarily been, and or if you've been into the mountain at all,
Try to see if I actually have a map of the island I can share with you. Because apparently they gave me many little maps of locations, but no island map. And I'm not sure if there actually is an island map done anywhere of this island.
that'd be too useful or too obvious.
There is a island map where the island itself is tinier than my smallest fingernail.
Oh, that's obviously got all the detail we need.
And most of it is taken up by the word man's, which is over the top of it. So it goes to the old man's launch, which is where you found the two bodies. and dots of it leading from Roderick's Cove all the way through Sandpoint to Magnemar to this island. So yeah, that makes it so easy for you to actually see the layout of the island. He does recommend you not idly spend time on this island because you might find it harder to leave.
Is that why you stayed for the last few years? 18 months?
Yeah, I have no desire to leave, he says.
Okay.
It must be such a wonderful place then.
It has many wonders, he says. Okay, I will give each
you camp here permanently at this stage?
Yeah, this is his camp, and he is happy for you to return here should you make it out alive.
Well, we shall be sure to stop by on our way out, or if we decide to have a rest stop along the way.
He does recommend leaving behind anything you don't wish to lose, so you can lighten your load while you're there.
Well, that's okay. I don't think I have very much to begin with.
He does turn to violence and says, you should fit in well here. There is much of your ancestral kin here.
Oh, goody.
And he does say not the Cheliax type.
I'm ashamed, but thank you for clarifying.
I wouldn't want you to be misled, he says.
Oh, as long as I'm not running into more blood knights.
Oh no, they wouldn't last long here. He has met many of their kind, and to put it bluntly, this island is too much for them. It requires subtlety and stealth, not blundering or foolhardiness.
Yeah, I'll take that under advisement.
He does recommend you either go to the shrine of Indurgarian or the Bloodstone bunker. Either one of those should get you deeper into the mountain.
Oh. Bloodstone bunker, okay.
Which one is most appealing to you?
I don't know.
Well, so shrine you said is where the well-dressed group were last seen?
So the diva went to the shrine, and the abomination went to the bunker.
Yeah.
I almost want to go the way of the shrine, but I'll leave that to the more experienced party to determine.
Well, it's not like you have a parry here to vote for getting his sword back.
That was also my thought too. I'm like, oh, maybe this could be an opportunity to get his sword back.
Maybe if you go in the other way, you'll cut them off on the way through.
That's true too.
So, has Leyland given any description of actually being in the mountain at all?
He does not. He changes the subject each time you ask. But he does look quite heroic. So that's the person you see at the campsite and the person you see in the trees.
And so I'm assuming that we've had a conversation for at least half an hour, or something like that. The guy in the trees stays in the trees for that time, does he?
He does.
So after about probably 15 minutes, something like that, Order will suggest perhaps your brother may wish to come down and join us. There's certainly, I think we've confirmed that we're no ill intent amongst this group here.
He says, I'm already here. I have no need to come down and join you.
Yeah.
Well, I see, I see, yep, they said that he got a little bit mad apparently, so, yep, I'm seeing evidence.
Well, strange things happen when you deal with magic. I'm sure you know that well enough.
Yep.
So effectively, for the musket to an island, you make this says, yep, there are two pathways to go down, one towards the sky and one towards this bunker.
Yep.
Or we could potentially go up the mountain and try and enter through the mouth or whatever type stuff. Is that the implication?
At the suggestion of trying to enter through the mouth, he refers to that as certain death.
Okay, I was kind of a good option. I was saying, in fact, that technically it is another option, is that right?
It is another option, and he doubts you'll make it to the mouth of the statue, mouth of the mountain. Because the bridge leads directly into the mouth of the goddess Shorshen, whose face is in the mountain.
Shorshen.
Goddess of Wrath.
Yeah. And that one we had a bit of a
powwow with?
It was a dream, wasn't it? Yeah,
It was a dream.
Yeah. Having that dream, she's not our foe, but rather we should be. And that's what I did get all that stuff. I can get off these later in the session or in the last couple of weeks, but what the rest of that word was.
So, while you're thinking about that, we will have Em introduce herself.
Hello. I play Dooza, Flex One Arm, who has been granted a boon by the mighty Grom to take on the quest of the Sandpoint Devil. And I am accompanied by my faithful companions, Puppy and Giant. Weird. I don't know how much of my mic picked that up, but Josh was complaining that I begged my god and wanted an essay extension.
Well, technically he didn't give you one, he just basically said you have a way of undoing what you've done. But if you die in the meantime, you can't be brought back.
Fair enough.
You're on your last chance.
Yeah.
But hey, this is what stories are made of people taking that last chance and making a story out of it.
Mm-hmm. So, no taste left. Just noticed that.
Which bit? Oh, no, okay.
Jesus countdown, no days left. Sad face.
So will Josh be joining us soon?
Yeah, he's just picking up his dinner, but he will be heading off very shortly because he's starting nights. Yay!
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 4 days of night after 2 evening shifts. Great.
That's okay. I'm sure you don't need to change or follow the Sword of Pride at all. It has no impact in your current storyline.
No, not at all. And we don't have plot armor to save us.
I don't know. Challenge Willie again. I'm sure plot armor will come in and save one of you.
Sure it would.
So they have just met Kalhan Leland.
that's the dude who was stranded on this island, is that
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Although having spoken to him, he's apparently not so much stranded, he's choosing to stay.
I will
He also
give
mentioned if we stay there with long enough, we might choose to stay too.
violence a occult roll.
Ooh, okay. I got this. Maybe. Ooh, okay. That is a 30.
Okay, your source of power tells you that both beings are the same.
Nice. We're talking about the Pathfinder guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're both him.
They are one and the same. Interesting. Wonder if that's a projection or if it's actually a split of the same being.
It just looks at you and you know it is the same being. If you kill one, you may kill the other.
Wow.
He's one person, has two bodies.
Soul split between two. Interesting.
But they are also not the same. They're the same person, but not the same.
Fascinating. How does this happen?
And so your familiar, your squirrel, recommends you trust the one with the sword, not the one with the bow.
Okay. Yep, let's do that. Toski has made that suggestion, and I'm in the habit of following their advice.
But it also suggests keeping that to yourself because the others are just crazy.
Yeah, cool.
I guess like you would like to sort of say that I'm assuming this conversation is all happening effectively in your head. And
correct.
How much you put it on. So.
Everyone else does hear the chittering of a squirrel.
Yeah.
But it sounds very much like pronouncements of doom to violence.
I've received the
Sounds like being really planet with these speaking animals, isn't it?
I don't know if that would work for you, but we'll see. Okay. I think that based on everything we've been told, we should...
Squeak, squeaky, squeakers, squeak.
So I think we've good time here to introduce Josh while we have him.
Hi, I'm Josh. I play Paragon, the buffest wizard known to man.
AKA plot armor.
Nope, buffest wizard known to man.
Could be worse. And they are suggesting you follow the abnormal one because the guy with the sword does believe the abnormal one to be the bigger threat at this stage.
Yeah.
Whereas,
I think that, absolutely.
How much trouble can the other three get into, he says. One's covered in peacock feathers, after all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last time when we left on the photos, I missed the session, so I'm not actually seeing. But what sort of did we depart or separate on friendly terms? We had to sit around there and she from killing herself. And so, I didn't block her.
For Jeremy's perspective, when you went to the island in search of water because your water had turned up tainted via a magical suggestion that no one traced back to her at the time, Parry stayed behind to question her, at which point Parry gave over his sword for no particular reason whatsoever, because of course it was a great suggestion to give his sword over, at which point she teleported away.
We left on friendly terms, that's what I'm doing. So friendly that Parry was happy to give up his sword. An obvious friend.
No.
And Perry has been angry ever since because he's supposed to be the buffest wizard known to man, not the everyone's enchanter's toy boy.
Yes.
Right, okay, so yes. So in fact, yes, it's been, we didn't leave on good terms. So, well, there's obviously option we can go after her in that circuit, or, as I say, the abomination in this land of potential abominations is potentially more problematic. Yeah. But I'm probably leaning towards the abomination, just because they killed their sailors that gave them a lift in, and that debt needs to be repaid on their behalf.
It's also the closest one. So it's a 10-mile journey to the bunker, whereas the shrine will require a lot of climbing gear up the mountainside. If you don't go the short route of a mile, it will basically take you about 30 miles to take a bath there.
I'm pretty certain Paul about explaining to you in his pouch. Excellent. I'm happy to go the short way. I'm assuming then for the time we're ready to leave or move on, it's what, mid-late morning? You said it was early morning?
Still fairly early morning. You've only spent about half an hour to 1 hour there.
Okay.
I'm good. I think we go with the bunker. I mean, the climb is not a huge concern to me, but I think the aberration is the greater threat.
Okay, so Calhan gives you a salute with his sword. As he does so, you see lightning arc up and down the length of the sword.
Ooh, that's cool. Work.
You have heard of this guy. He is probably one of the better known scouts of the Pathfinder Society who came out of Varisia. But he was many years before your guys' time. He had finished his initiation long before you guys had actually started.
What I'm saying is that he's possibly one of the heroes that Core actually read about that made him think Pathfinder Society was a good thing.
Well, he does look the dashing hero. And he does do the sword and shield style with bow and arrow that Cordar favours. He may actually be Cordar's hero.
That's good. I think it was more the idea that, as I said, he blew up on legions of Pathfinders and stories and things like that. So there's a fair chance, but even if depending on those legions actually use names specifically, or the names were decided, the names were changed to protect the guilty or innocent. Yeah. But yes. So yes, well, in that case then, Cordar will be getting up and dusting off his armour and heading down. Okay, well, let's move on then.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. We shall hopefully see you again very soon.
He gives you directions and says should you require it, he can provide some healing if you can make it back to his camp.
Thank you.
Wow. I mean, depending upon how long we have to be here for and what the situation is, as you are happy that this can be a base camp, then let's go. We'll be expecting we'll be returning to the evening.
As it is well protected, and he does not recommend sleeping beneath the mountain.
Is there any other guidance you can provide us before we head there?
Yes, beware walking through portals.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so it takes you just over an hour to trek the 10 miles to the bunker as you described it. Would have probably taken you longer if you didn't have directions that gave you the easiest path there.
That's good. Corner will look at the carefully replace the blinds and things like that. Expedite.
You do recognize it was done by in the tradition that your teacher taught you.
Yep. And you'll also ensure that any cracks or things like that lead towards the blind will be covered up as much as possible.
Well, you come out and find all the tracks of the party have been removed from the clearing you entered.
Cool. And with one with just we created.
Okay.
But yes, he'll do a better job.
So as you get close to the bunker, I'll give each of you a perception check to see how well you can hear things. This is sound oriented if you have a bonus.
Noting we were heading towards danger touched up, Corner will now have his shields strapped on his arm again and forward bridge be pulled at a moment's notice.
17.
So 17 from Willie.
Yeah. Not a particularly good roll.
Hey, 17 is still good for a low level character.
22 for Fandra.
23 from Island.
There, Willie. Things will get better the more levels we get.
It's okay, Lily. We forgive you because your arms in a sling.
Hey, things are good now. You know?
Willie's just blocking out the haters at the moment.
You guys missed my explanation about my arm in a sling. It was a very good explanation. Put Willie in a very good light. Just take it.
I see in the future that Willie and Doozer will have an incident again where they will no longer talk to each other and then go back to square one.
This is fine. I don't see
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I almost gave an arm for Doozer, so, you know, how much more can I give?
Yes.
Who knows? It might have even made us closer because you now have a scar that I gave you. You're now my best buddy.
Could do. Yeah, could do.
25 for Doozer.
Okay. Anyone not given me their perception yet?
Me, Harry got 28.
Okay, so most of you hear sounds of combat coming up the path, but those of you who got 25 and higher can identify it as sounds of pain and excitement, and for Parry particularly brings him back to nights with the Chilaxians.
Oh, yay, one! Ooh! Everyone buckle up for some sexual
Can we get any indication as to, or call out as a 20 touched up, any indication as to the types of beings that might be making the sound of combat?
Anyone and everyone.
Well, it does sound like actual sword play to Cordar at least. So you see on the edge of the clearing a large structure stands against the woods, a narrow creek flowing languidly under its center. Streaks of red run through the stone, giving the building the appearance of being partially drenched in blood. Two domes adorn the end of the complex, connected by a vine overgrown central structure. The building has no apparent point of entry, though the vines across a strangely dark pillar of stone on the building's north face have been recently hacked away, leaving a Darkstone exposed. You see a rather tall human and 3 of his apparent minions having sparring sessions where they are using swords, and every time one of them cries out in pain from being struck by the sword, you hear the sound of excitement and pleasure.
Alright.
So 4 apparent human cures total?
You would sort of mark them as human, but they look closer to being Norsemen than human. Because, you know, some of those Norse people just aren't human at all in comparison to Pathfinders.
And is there any evidence of like campfire or anything like that that might be that it's got to be that they set up camp here as such, or?
There is a campfire sitting right next to the structure, and they are sparring right next to it.
Yeah. And well, the sound of combat Cordar was certainly speeding up a bit towards the find out what's happening, but obviously not aiming to draw attention himself as we came to a clearing. But whether or not we have actually been spotted or the notice our presence yet.
That's what they look like.
Yep.
Nice and pretty for you.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yes, they noticed our presence?
Not yet. They seem to be making so much of a din with their sparring that so far you guys haven't had to make a stealth roll. What would you like to do? Currently you have the advantage if you wish to start something.
Are these the people that we're supposed to be meeting, or is this someone different?
You believe these guys are associated with the aberration.
And these are seemingly from the one of the 2 ships that left before us, because for some reason we got delayed for a week in Lake Mar.
Hey, how that happened, you have no idea.
No idea at all. It's a lie.
And as I said, we had the thought I'll be able to encourage the party to come back to the extra clearing and have a big quiet conversation, and you can hide up on the thing.
Okay, so Willie gets to make a stealth roll as he hides.
So the only is that these are seemingly one of the 2
Natural 20
went through.
What does that?
Nice.
What does that add up to?
33 total.
33 upgraded.
Jesus Christ. That's interesting.
So you turn around and you're missing a member of the party.
Yeah, okay, so we're down a member, that's fine.
You have no idea when he went missing.
But, so seemingly we had 2 party candidates. One of them seemed to be sort of pirate, and one of them seemed to be Leon King, i.e. Viking. And when we arrived on the island, we called the remains of a lord where one of the seemed one of the other one, who was a group, and fought the sailors that had taken them on board. And according to Leyland, that party, or the remains of that one, was led by some being that had a huge tentacle coming out of it, which would appear to be, or the descriptions of it would certainly lead to be this party as well. I'm assuming we're not seeing anyone with a big pistol around here.
You are not. And while you decide what you're going to do, I'm just going to grab a bit of food. So this will be your chance to figure out what you're doing.
So,
Which would be a very good question. We turn around and Willie's gone. Fodra starts looking for Willie. the one person she's supposed to look after.
I was going to say, now's not the time. Wait till we're back in the shop and then you can pay for it.
Willie is a ninja.
Yes. So,
Certainly, yes. Willie disappearing at a moment's notice is not necessarily unusual. And he's just allowing himself a tactical advantage. So he's potentially allowing himself a tactical advantage, or if we decide to be friendly or open about it, we still put him in reserve. Or if we attack, well, he's still in reserve as well anyway. Or come attack him all the way, no one knows who he's been.
Yep.
But yeah, so I guess it comes down to the idea of, are we talking to these guys first before killing them?
I mean, what's the point? What's the point of talking to them? What information could they possibly give us?
Why they're here?
I mean, what's the likelihood? Sorry, let me reiterate that question. What's the likelihood they're going to answer that question?
And not just act.
And not just attack us.
Well, no. It's like maybe we could trick them into.
I mean, unless we shove Parry in there to also join in the swordplay orgy.
Yeah.
Just like throw Parry into the middle of the clearing and
Except that Harry's missing his sword, right? So.
Well, I'm sure Parry can, talk to them. He can talk to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, whether or not they actually pay attention remains to be seen. And for most of you, the Norse people are seen as barbaric berserkers as the majority of their skill sets. So you're not sure how likely you'll be able to convince them of anything.
No.
So charge? Question mark.
Ordal is not necessarily one who would deliberately try and attack a possible new door. They're not goblins, so they're not actually automatically to be exterminated. From what we've heard, and again, I think one source, there's certainly something odd about these creatures with the aberration of some sort.
And these guys were the ones who happily cut the sailors' throats.
But that's odd. Well, we expect they are. Again, we haven't necessarily got absolute confirmation that they are the same people.
Well, does anyone want to break a good reading score, or you could try to talk their way in while the rest of us kind of get ourselves ready to fight? Just in case.
Maybe.
I was gonna say, don't look at Fodra, who's basically silently freaking out that she can't find Willie right now.
I'm sure Doomsday would think of a way to challenge them because, hey, challenge is part of their culture.
I mean, the point is that I'm sure that if the enemies involved who can't get a surprise, well, we can always get surprised by giving some time to show you.
Well, it's not the point of the person going and talking to them is not to get surprised, to make sure we're not about to murder people who don't deserve it. Just trying to avoid jumping straight to the violence.
Cordo's happy to go in and talk. Others can stay back and we can maintain reserves type stuff. But not that Cordo's necessarily particularly charismatic or anything like that. He's a big chat.
I am a flat 0 on the charisma skills, so don't look to me for that.
Well, hey, they're most likely to respect muscle over everything else.
Yep. Again, don't look for me.
Duza will saunter into the clearing. You people have been talking too long.
Okay. And Duza starts to saunter in. Cordo will tell the others, stay hidden. You'll know that when needed. And then he'll follow in behind Duza.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
not that anyone actually has missile weapons in his plane, do they?
No.
I have range attack.
I think Sparky might. He's got the repeating crossbow, is that right? Or a crossbow?
I believe Parry is the one with the ranged attack, as Sparky also has the burrowed crossbow.
Well, okay, apparently he's got his own crossbow back again.
I was going to give him back to Cordo.
Is that range better?
What she was doing, she spent the time when we were fighting on the log, getting her crossbow out and loading it up. Hopefully the invitation of stay hidden, be ready to act, was enough that Sparky at least has got a crossbow out and is had it loaded and ready to shoot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then, okay, yep, so who's got one to him with Cordo close behind?
Okay, so...
What they're doing, or?
they stop, turn, grip their weapons, and... Let's see how they react.
I mean, just to be clear, I've just walked in. I don't have weapons out or anything, so...
To your surprise, they lower their weapons and they call out in Orcish, "Oh look, there's Flex one arm."
I will then proceed to flex one arm.
They seem
and
very excited.
and greet my groupies in kind. In Orcish.
They insist on doing the whole chest butt, head butt greeting.
Sure.
And then they ask, "What's such a renowned warrior of esteem like you dealing with pointy ears over there?"
What are we doing here? We're questing for something here, aren't we?
Cordo doesn't understand, but it was apparently the response from Duza implied that Runelords wasn't necessarily insulting or immediate challenge to fight. Cordo's happy to stand off to the side slightly and find what's going on.
They ask if that pointy ear is your mate.
Oh, they're pointing to Cordo. I forget that you got your Orcish back. Yes, he is a friend.
They go, you must like them thin then, they say.
He's not that kind of friend.
They just sort of grin in your direction going, sure.
I'm sure if Cordo could beat me in battle, it might be another matter, but...
Oh, so someone must beat you for your affections.
Yes.
So one of them steps up and says, "A challenge."
I accept.
He drops his sword and throws a punch. That would be hitting an armor class of 26.
That hits.
Okay, so it does a whole 6 points of damage.
6 points damage. Whoa.
He's not trained in beating people up, he's just enjoying it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
And by the way, you're still drained too.
Oh, am I?
Yep.
What does that mean?
You have 10 less total XP. And you should also have 12 hit points left over that hadn't been healed from the last session.
Oh,
so that means you'll have 18 damage plus minus 10 to your maximum hit points.
And you also have -2 on your fort saves and any constitution-based rolls.
Yep. Is my AC lowered?
Not by the drain.
Not by the drain.
It only takes on every constitution save rolls and including fort saves.
Okay. How come I didn't get healed, or do we not have time to heal that?
You have not had time to sleep.
Oh, I haven't had time to sleep.
It's only been an hour or so since we had the fight with the mosquitoes. We spent that time chatting with Layla.
And overnight you'll only get 1 back, not 2.
Yep.
Don't worry, I pulled out my critical hit and fumble cards just in time for you to roll.
Okay.
Knowing how your dice are going to love you today.
Oh yeah, well I mean I just rolled an 18, so and I'm trying to find whether I'm trained in unarmored. Sorry.
You would be trained in unarmed.
Yes, I am expert in unarmed actually.
Not at all.
No, not at all. So that would be unarmed proficiency is
Should be
what?
+4.
+4, then
Training is +2, you add your level.
yeah. So 4 plus our level. What is our level again? 5. 4 is 9 plus 18 plus 5. I add strength still, don't I?
You still add strength, yes.
So that's hitting for armor class 32.
Okay, so that's a critical hit. You get to do double damage.
What is this? Is it just a D6?
This is AC D4 plus your strength.
A D4 plus strength. Just apply a D4.
That can be bludgeoning non-lethal.
Yeah.
Assuming you're not like
No, I don't have. So 3 plus 5 and then 8 doubled is total 16. It's just 1d4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, you don't get to make next year. You haven't got any medical wounds like you wish.
No. This was correct. So yes, total is 16 damage. For a fist, that's pretty good.
Okay. You see him start to rage.
No, he's barbarian. Okay.
You see his muscles start to bulge.
Porter noticing that this is becoming more serious. He will and his hand on his squad ready to draw.
Don't interrupt the fight though.
Yeah.
Okay, before watching the other three,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
just to ensure that there's no interruption or interaction. So
It's an armor class 22.
That's
Okay, he strikes your armor and you hear a cracking sound. Willie has memories of this sound haunting him through various nights.
Silence will go stand by quarter. Given that.
Haunting.
Haunting.
Interesting words.
Your hand twitches at the sound.
Because you have broken your fingers by punching me before, so you know.
Did someone say they're coming and standing beside me?
Yep.
Yeah, violence is.
Violence has joined Corda in more ways than one.
Oh.
Okay. Corda will say quietly, says, "Is there any reason to come out of hiding yet?"
Well, it's either one-on-one combat or you need support, so either way.
Might be better to have not indicated their awareness by coming out unnecessarily, but good to get closer.
And you both notice that the other three of them are staring at the combat, completely didn't even notice the two of you talking, let alone violence coming into the clearance. Apparently it wasn't the violence they were caring about.
Violence,
They're so memorized by the
Do I see push? I don't think so. Let me check. No. I've got a myriad of languages, but not Orcish.
Okay, that's right. Because Corda will eventually say, "Did you have to understand what I'm saying?" I think it was a mutual challenge or a conversation thing, but...
I mean,
he threw down his weapon, so that seems like a
His
challenge rather
user
than...
hasn't called these dogs. His dogs are just sitting.
No, yeah, no, that's right.
They're using their fists, not the swords.
But I can put together a friendly challenge. Actually, if when Parliament spoke Orcish, then he'd be able to confirm.
She's,
the person who speaks Orcish in the party is actually Parry.
Yeah.
But as this is not about Perry, I'm not sure if you'll translate for anyone.
No, exactly.
If it was Gnomish or something, I'd be okay, but no Orcish for me.
Well, yeah, I know most languages.
I think you're the only one in the party that knows Orcish.
Yeah.
Apart from me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know.
Parry knows Elven, Dwarven, Orcish, Draconic, Goblin, Varisian, Thassilonian, Red only, and Shaman.
And so from Parry's perspective, this is basically a equivalent of a proposal for a relationship. It's considered an Orcish proposal.
Is this going to actually yelling out, go for it, Doozer? Go for it!
Harry's also calling out the fact that they've got more people hidden in the forest.
Yep.
Yes.
Just for that perfect Pathfinder stealth party.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what? Two of us can stealth, and that's about it.
I mean, I can disappear if I want to.
Okay, maybe 3.
What does Doomsday wish to do?
What I'm not saying anything at this time, because that's not the situation, but he's a bit confused with the idea of we have to discuss it before going in there, that, okay, you guys stay hidden, he'll go in. Be ready to actually see it.
If the question was whether or not we were going, if they were, the people we needed to kill, or if they were safe, and given that Doozers decided to, engage in courtship with one of them, it seems okay.
Okay, Violence has a different idea of,
I'm chillaxing, what do you...
I mean, does Violence know much about Orcish culture?
I can give you a knowledge roll. I've just got enough knowledge on everything.
I mean, you could do a knowledge roll and maybe ascertain that.
Yeah, that's true. But the point is, you both threw down your weapons and started having a fist fight, so it seems,
Give me an occult roll for violence.
Yeah, sure.
Brilliant, but that could indicate that it's a friendly situation. It just means that, hey, we're not actually out to kill each other's criminals.
Alright. Occult, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that's a roll of 18, so that makes it a 31.
Okay, so your squirrel starts chittering at you again. And just imagine David Attenborough's voice doing a voiceover talking about the mating rituals of the orcs and the men of the north.
Oh, that's great.
And how, having broken his limb in the middle of the fight, we'll now see whether or not it will be enough to be accepted by the champion before him. And we turn to Duzo at that point.
Who should be used to a limb push to the pool like that for?
Yeah, look, we may need to give them privacy soon. I have a feeling they're going to need the space.
So he's broken his arm.
Well, he seemed to have crushed his hand on your chest.
Sorry, he's crushed his hand, but he hasn't yielded, has he?
He has not. He didn't even cry out in pain when he did so.
Mm-hmm.
What we see here is the half-orc ranger engaged in
Sorry?
Sorry, I just got David Attenborough in my head now, basically describing the ritual dance back and forth.
Oh yeah,
What's the pomp and prim?
Ranger orc is courting the rugged Morphean.
And will he add to his pack of followers? Well, he's already got 2.
Will the challenger succeed in culture? Or will the combat fail, resulting in the death of one?
I am going to grapple here.
Okay.
Athletics versus his, isn't it?
You get to make a athletics check versus his fortitude DC.
Oh, fortitude DC.
William, if this succeeds, we're going to need to walk away. There's a splash zone.
That's a splash. Gee, thanks for your confidence there.
Oh, no. I have confidence in you. It's the result I'm worried about. I don't want to get involved in whatever coil occurrence happens here.
Just remind me of Willie and his wife, that's all I want to be honest.
I know, exactly. I don't want to be here.
And I saw that once, didn't want to see it again.
33.
That's what you're saying now. Come on.
Yeah, splash zone.
Okay, so yes, you managed to grab and pin him at the same time. How would you like to describe how you embrace this?
It's like a gigantic bear hug.
We know without pants.
I have pants.
Because he is the
I thought you
question.
should.
Right. Thanks, guys. I've got to run to work.
Hopefully this gives you some happy thoughts as you go.
We'll see.
You could listen in and right good.
But
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, you seem to have him pinned in your arms.
I basically he's grabbing his hand, and now Gorov is about a fair fight,
It is.
and even though he didn't cry out in pain, and I know he could probably punch with his other hand, I don't consider having your hand broken particularly fair. So basically my idea is I'm going to keep him grappled tightly in my embrace until he yields.
Well, he seems
So
to lean
to
into...
your opinion, are you calling to yield?
Sorry? What was that, Jeremy?
Are you calling him to yield? You pinned him.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I will say, I'll ask him, like, do you yield?
Says, no, I shall fight on for your affections.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, he wants to fight on, so cool.
As you hear his other arm snap between the elbow and the shoulder. Critical fumble.
Have you got him grabbed from the front or from behind?
The front.
Because I was just thinking about the idea of, oh, yep. You're gonna have the tentacle in his back come out through your stomach, or he can come out, hit you from the top.
Can you punch people while you're in grapple?
Yes, you can inflict physical damage. It can be the equivalent of knee, elbow, squish, headbutt, however you'd like to describe it.
Right.
Bite it. No, I'm not gonna bite it, but headbutt sounds good.
Bite is whatever you want to do. Yeah, okay.
Is headbutt the same as like the unarmed fist?
As far as the combat goes, it's still it's the same to hit and the same damage.
It is just a limb you can strike someone with for meaty damage.
I mean, and technically, in your situation, because you've got the grapple and you've got him pinned, you can effectively pin him with, like, you're probably clam him with one arm and then punch him with the other if you really want to. Like.
Yeah.
As he's pinned, you definitely get a bonus to attack him.
Oh, that's right, because he's, yeah. Alright. I guess I'll start wailing on him.
Well, that's going to be the whole time, isn't it?
Sorry? Oh, well, yeah, that's what I've been doing the whole time, yes, but, so, so this is my second action? Sorry, no.
This would be your first action.
Yeah,
because last round he tried to force your arms out from him because he thought he was stronger.
Oh, right, yeah, he was trying to break
He
the grapple.
failed.
Yeah, that's right, sorry, you did say he critically fumbled and broke his arm.
Martin, how far away are we from the action? So if I whisper to Willie saying, I swear your wife used a reverse action there or something like that, can I do that kind of thing?
You could. Just one slight problem. You don't know where Willie is the correct response there.
That's right, okay. I'm just thinking to myself, going, I swear Willie's wife used a different technique.
So, Mark, give me a perception roll to see if you can see Willie.
30.
You look and you find no Willie here.
Do I notice that he's looking for me? Or sorry, she's looking for me?
Sure.
I'll kind of, I don't know, step out like a couple of inches out from the tree I'm hiding behind or whatever and sort of give the I'm okay hand signal and then slip back.
So you do the whole Spider-Man drop from the tree in front of them and do the whole wave and go back up again.
Sure, why not?
You're so hidden they can't find you anyway.
I was just thinking about it, and I look around and go, about to say that Willie, and they go, oh, when's that near the Willie come down and goes, oh, and then go back up and go, oh. And I kind of feel distracted about the whole situation. So I'm confused.
I'm starting to feel really sorry for this guy, because I just got a nat 20, so that's just 29 upgraded.
Okay, I'm gonna popcorn.
Natural 20 upgraded. Critical hit deck it is.
Oh, actually, sorry, and that doesn't even include the bonus to the grapple. Is that +1?
It reduces his armor class.
Oh, right, okay.
If you keep going
He's
this way,
flat-footed
you're
and
not gonna end up
immobilized.
swaying. Sorry about that.
Sorry, Cecily, I missed what you said.
I was gonna say, you keep going like this, you're never gonna end up married.
Alright, well, hey, I mean, that other chick who beat me up the other day is a clear contender.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
We
so
already know who she's gonna, who Joe's gonna marry. It's gonna be the Sandpoint Devil.
so your headbutt. The result it came out with was caved skull.
Oh no!
So as you do that tender headbutt to the face, you pull your face back up again and realize some of his face is still there.
Oh no!
Oops. I mean, I asked him to heal, he didn't yield. So I can't say this was an unfair fight.
As you look down and you can see through the skull.
Well, he's dead.
The brain is pulsing slowly and then just stops pulsing in your arms.
That was quite the claim to kiss.
At least he was being held tenderly in his dying moments. I will let him go now that he is passed on from this life.
He crumples to the ground, and when he hits the ground, you see his brain pop out of the hole of his skull.
Oops. I said gently.
Wow.
I meant gently, but okay.
It's a brain fucking kiss, that one.
Yeah, but I just kind of went for the posture. Is it normal for one of the main couples to kill each other?
Oh, well, I believe that she's a bit more vicious than the girl. Yeah.
The squirrel, not even giving the day.
The squirrel chitters back to you and says, he apparently failed his mating attempt.
Yep, that makes sense.
As the victor of the attempt has proven themselves stronger than those weaker around him.
From Corner's perspective though, he's actually locking the three others to see their reaction.
They are looking on in awe at the mighty flex one arm, proving he is the master of... and they are sort of bending down and saying, we're not worthy in Orcish. We will serve the master.
Okay.
Cool, I have news.
What I feel is it's very much like that Bill and Ted and like Good Burger. We're not worthy, dude.
Yeah, probably.
This count as a dude's official walker, you know?
Yeah.
I have an orcish arm now. Sweet.
You have three wolves that think you're wonderful.
No, two wolves, because
No,
I killed the other one.
they are human.
Oh,
They are human, but they know Orcish.
And there were three minions, I believe.
There are 3 minions left after you killed their leader.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought there were 3 total. No. Yeah.
3 onlookers to your love twist.
Right.
Cornwall, I believe you have finished introductions?
That is correct.
As
His proposal for my love and affection has let's say failed, but not failed, that's a bit mean. Not successful, yeah.
As you watch bits of the failure drip off Dooza's face.
Okay.
Dooza hasn't even watched it. He's not phased by this at all. This is I presume this is very common for my culture. And
Normally, it's only the really important chiefs who get this sort of attention. You must have really moved up in the world.
Cool.
I'm not certain, but I think their leader is going to be less talkative now.
I am their new leader. They,
So,
they
yes.
have pledged their loyalty to me.
Okay, well, I guess,
But,
let's go find the operation.
What's going on?
I will ask them. Do they speak a common tongue?
Yes, they say they speak the tongue of the Northmen. I think that is Cash or Kalashite. Gotta remember which one it is.
I don't know Kalashite or the other one. What's common in common? Is Thassilonian?
Or Varisia, or Angoran, Kaldan. Kaldan probably the most common at the moment.
I'm making poor mum pull books now.
Well, it helps to actually have the right book with the information in it.
Oh.
Not that we've had to face many of these before, because previously they didn't give them much in the way of languages, because everyone only knew one language.
Way.
Yeah, but I think that from Absalom's perspective, Kaldan is probably the most common tongue.
It is the base common tongue, yes.
Yeah.
Skald is the language they speak.
That would make sense.
But they speak Orcish by as a preference.
Okay. Well, I don't know Skull, so Orcish works fine for me.
Okay.
I just was wondering whether I'd have to translate for the party, which that sounds like a good idea.
Or I have to just stand by and watch it the second time, because if she gets well, I'm sure Lisa would not get distracted by any other issues or concerns, and he'll keep the party informed of important events.
I'm just worried Jesus is going to try to date one of the others.
No, they are minions. They have pledged their loyalty, so therefore they have also technically not been successful in a meeting in courting me, I guess.
Yes, the strongest amongst them failed to court you.
The thing is, they were following the guy that I just bashed his skull in. I presume that they are not going to challenge me, at least anytime soon.
Okay, well, I guess I can study Orcish mating rights another time. I'm sure there'll be more changes.
A few minutes to talk to them to find out. Who are they? What are they here? What are they looking for?
I've got a water bottle with a cold now.
Okay, so they do tell you that they were brought here by Marga Sizu and told to guard the entryway.
That's different from the dude who we were following before.
Describes him as a man twisted both in body and in soul.
Presumably, Marcus Sadu was the actual leader of this group as opposed to the person who was headhunted. The person who headhunted was being the leader of the minions.
Right, yeah.
And so Darkness Sadu is presumably the one with the tentacle, that has gone into the mountain through the wonder.
And a place he called the Gauntlet of Fury.
Gauntlet of Fury.
Do they know much about this Marcus and or his goals and plans here?
They kill who he says to kill. They stop things trying to kill him without his say-so.
So does that mean if we see him in there and he orders them around that they will listen to him or me?
They will wait to see who wins challenge between you and him.
Fair enough. That's a good answer.
They will follow the strongest.
Were they the ones that killed the sailors?
They were told to kill the sailors, yes.
So, technically, yes.
And one of them pulls out a bit of paper from the brainless guy and hands it to you, saying, handed to by Maga Suzul, should we need to open the door.
So instructions on how to open the door, I'm guessing?
You look at it, it seems to be written in Orcish. But this is the first time you've ever seen Orcish written phonetically.
I can still read it though, even though it's phonetic.
You can read it.
It's just unusual. I'm guessing because they've learned it rather than, or like learned it as a second language rather than
Yeah.
Well,
And it was also about the fact that it's not that the words are not actually in Orcish, but Marcus had provided the information to the leader of the minions. If you need to open the door, this is what you've got to say, and he said he's written it out in a way that you could found out word.
Right.
It is a phrase of 5 words written phonetically. The words don't translate directly to Orcish.
Yeah.
Right. I will let the party know that this is the way into the secret door to where how do you pronounce the name again?
Maga Suzul.
Margus Draw?
So I'll spell it out for you. Maga Suul. Maga Suzul. Don't worry, I'm sure there's no Ghostbuster vibes here.
That name is not actually ringing bells for anyone particularly reading it, I think.
It does not. It does not appear to be a big name that you recognize off the bat, but give me a society. I think it's society, isn't it, for this one?
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Or some or land issues, particularly an opponent or a society.
Okay. The name rings a bell for violence.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a big bell, by the way.
Oh.
He's one of the few people who accepted you in Carmarga when you arrived.
Oh.
But you think that was more because he was interested in all things demonic.
Okay.
He wasn't interested in you, he was interested in your soul, or lack thereof. Now we're going to look at this hut that apparently has no entrance, but apparently the vines have been pulled away or burnt away or whatever. Look more carefully. and see if you can find any evidence of tracks leading into the place or anything along those sort of lines.
So looking up, you can see that the dark brown pillar is gouged and marred. Looking recent. Pillar itself has a feeling of power when you touch it.
And so look, after you have a look around, Porter, and if the dudes are saying, oh, look, we've got the instructions to open the port and that stuff, and Porter say, is this where we went in? Is this the anchor?
After Duza asks them, they nod.
Cool. Looks like this is where we're going to go. Do you want to read out the words? Someone who can read it?
I presume Juza has to because it's, you know, in phonetic Orcish.
Yep. Sounds reasonable to me.
So do any of you actually know Thassilonian by now?
I just wrote comment down, so I don't know if it's Thassilonian or not.
Thassilonian is a language you can't start with because it is a rare language.
I think Harry might be the only one because I think he literally just said that was one he could read. Oh, we closed it.
I would say that yes, most of us at least might recognise Thassilonian words, but yeah, I don't know if any of us could read or speak it.
Perry can read Thassilonian.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I haven't taken up too many other languages, so.
Okay, none of you understand this language as it is spoken out phonetically in Orcish. But at the end of the magic phrase, you're sure it's along the lines of Open Sesame. The pillar lowers into the ground, revealing an opening.
Behind it or in the ground?
Behind it.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards. Cool.
Are your newfound friends planning on waiting here? Varisia?
Oh, sorry, give me a sec. Sorry, Jeremy, you asked me something?
Is this asking whether your newfound friends are following you or are they waiting here?
I'm going to presume that they follow because they want to see the battle between me and...
I guess probably doesn't come down to whether we invite them to follow. Or whether you tell them to follow.
I'll invite them to follow. They could be useful.
They happily follow their fearless leader.
You want them to follow and stand behind you when they've already admitted that they are having to change sides again, just because they've just changed sides now?
Well, I don't see why not, because they said they have given their word that they will wait to see the battle or the outcome between me and Maruzal? Maruzal, sorry. I'm really tired. Words and names are totally just like going in and out.
Born skeptical of the likely loyalty of such people that inside so easily and quickly, though. It's
If
obviously
it
orcs there.
makes you happy, I can get Puppy and Giant to kind of guard them.
Okay, so Cordax, have to accept it's obviously an orcish thing, because... What's beyond this passageway then, or this opening?
Looking in, the ceiling of this chamber is 15 feet high in the centre, rising to a height of 30 feet under a dome room to the east. The walls are adorned with elaborate fresco depicting a scene of horror. Crab-like figures with multiple arms ritually sacrifice dozens of humans in cruelly imaginative ways, all presided by what appears to be a tentacled sun looking down upon them from above. A dark stone pillar stands in the western wall, while to the east, the floor under the dome yawns open in a wide pit.
Any apparent exits?
The pit and possibly the pillar. You
The pillar, isn't it? The pillar was a bit like the one, just like the we just managed to activate?
It is.
Right.
I looked at Corda after he wants me to go forward and have a look around stealthily.
And you hear some chittering from the squirrel as the squirrel points out that the crab-like creatures are demons too.
They are.
As we start to head towards going into the door, has Willie reappeared?
I'm gonna take as no, because...
He may forget he's on mute.
Well, that, or he might even forget that he's, stealth. Because I think that's happened before too.
It has. Hello, Peter. Where we see you're off mute.
Hello. I had to actually turn my headphones on. I forgot.
So what did Willie wish to do? Did he follow them in?
Yeah. I mean, there's no point staying, or loaning it, lone wolfing it, so, yeah. I'm assuming that by doing so, I become unhidden.
You do.
Cool. As expected. But yeah, alright, so I do that.
And
As we went red up, Corda took you out saying, Willie, you take your whistle.
And when you finish the whistle, you find that Willie's already standing next to you.
Glad to see that much.
Can I go in here? Can I kind of try to hide in shadows? Just in case?
Sure, there's this really big hole in the floor that's got a great shadow to hide in.
Okay. I saw that comment from the DM. I'm going to just do normally now. I think it's not.
Also, I had mentioned the big hole before, so I just thought, if you want to hide in shadow, that's the only real shadow you can see in there.
No chance of going in there.
I'll say to Sparky, if you can hide behind me, feel free.
I'll try. No chance in hell. Certain roll the dice says they don't. I kind of, you see your legs now have arms, so definitely didn't find it.
So what we see is the fact that previously Sparky was trying to protect Willie's groin, now he's trying to protect Willie's backside.
That's pretty much what I'm rolling one of the dice. I think that's about it, yeah.
Okay, so Willie feels the wrapped arms of Sparky around him.
Oh, sorry.
Sparky, I can understand in times of stress, this sort of thing might be appropriate, but I'm married and I've got kids.
Oh, sorry.
But I'm very flattered, thank you.
I do apologise profusely. Sorry.
That's all right. I need to apologise.
Maybe this all.
Meanwhile, Corda moved in and is that there is a light source in the room what they're touched, or
There is
we're
not,
still
only-
looking for that?
Only what you bring in.
Okay, we'll activate his Wayfinder and start cautiously going around the side, the left-hand side of the hole, like looking at both the mule until he can get back around to the pillar.
Okay, as you start walking around the hole, you see that there are some ropes tied into pieces of wood jammed in just near the door of the pit, and the pit seems to drop down 100 feet.
Okay, how wide was the pit again? Like what was the diameter?
So the pit is about 15 feet by 10 feet in a rectangle with two curves either side of it on the north and south.
And how big's the room? Like how much space on the side of the pit or around the pit?
There is a 5-foot walk all around the pit.
Right, okay. Well, in that case then, if it's 5 foot, then yeah, Cordo will be taking a look down the pit as well and finding if it can go down a long way. And
Lance will study the fresco.
You get pointers on various ways to kill humans.
Oh, neat. That's fun.
Most of them feature ways of showing their insides to their face before they pass away.
I hadn't wanted, now I know.
coming around to the other end of the room with the pillar, and it can be seen behind the pillar, and or does it look like it would be a passage behind the pillar like the other one, or
it feels exactly the same. Feels exactly the same as the one you saw earlier. So you're sure that Duzara has the power to make this one drop.
Maybe it's we use the same password or not, but I've looked at it. Marco Zell decided not to go that way. He decided to go down the pit. How many works are down the pit?
3.
Porter look across to Boozer and say, how many did Marcus and Zell take inside with him?
I'll ask my minions if he had anyone accompanying him inside.
He took 2 bodyguards with him.
2 bodyguards? Okay, yep, so that would explain 3. Climbing ropes.
Of course. So what it really shows is the fact that Boozer was thwarted by the 4th best in the party.
But they knew my name, so, you know, and they call me Flex One Arm, not Doozer. So they from Riddleport or surround?
Well, Riddleport is the northernmost town of Varisia, closest to their lands.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Okay, well, if it appears we've got at least one, possibly 2 options. Do you want to try the passphrase on this pillar, or do you want to try and go down the pit? So, the 100 foot, you say, well, so, like, I'm guessing the light source we've got don't necessarily light the bottom of the pit?
It does not.
There's probably a reason that Noticeable didn't take the path with the pillar.
I would agree.
I mean, you have told us not to explore or get distracted, so I would presume that we follow the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
at least
or get distracted.
laid out for us.
Yeah, I would, yeah. So,
I
let's...
also like the fact that if the passphrase does open the door, then hey, that's a lot easier than climbing down to an unknown death pit.
Plus, it may mean there are enemies above that you may not know, who may come out while you're climbing down.
Well, to be honest, Martin.
Sparky, can you see any evidence of traps or concerns on this pillar if it gets activated in a way that is not appropriate? Like if the passphrase is not accurate,
I
and is it liable to do anything?
checks and then I roll a 35 upgraded.
Okay, looking at it, this is definitely a secret door. It's not trapped though.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to use it to try the phonetic orcish password, I would presume that would be... I would presume that any other pillar might have a different code, but I'm happy to try the same code.
Well, that's called our main thought is that if it's not going to hurt to take 5 minutes to test it, we can find out. And based upon Sparky's investigation, maybe Marcus herself didn't actually recognise it as a door.
So I explained that this seems to be a secret door. No traps, I couldn't see any traps, any sort of mechanisms or anything, but it does seem to be a secret door.
And so as Duza says the words while touching this door, it starts to drop and the entry door starts to rise.
Really creative passcodes, it seems.
They haven't done their security checks on the passphrases.
Well, apparently you have to touch it to make it work.
And the if they're written in Orcish, well, how hard can it be?
And I'm guessing it may also be a thing that only Duza would be able to do it anyway because he is an orc.
Well, I don't think that it's actually the magic phrases are not designed to be Orcish.
This is why it's phonetic, and you see Duza not struggling so much, but it's certainly uncomfortable to speak a language twice, kind of almost like twice translated.
Yeah.
Well, because technically it is Thassilonian translated into Orcish.
And then spoken.
It's sort of like if you use English to phonetically write out German.
Interesting.
Or even
possibly even more phonetically writing out the German word using Chinese
characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
But anyway, so this package opens.
And you see a new room. This room is circular. This room is circular and stained red in places, while the walls are decorated with collapsed weapon racks and ruined shelves. You see on the far side of the room another pillar.
Can we see any evidence as to why the weapon racks have collapsed? Just old age, or does it look like they've been broken or smashed by something?
They look like they may have been looted.
I will preempt a quarter question to go and check the other side of the room, just and do a trap check.
Sure. You go across the room.
While Sparky's doing that, I just quarter, have a look around and see if there's anything they've left behind.
So Sparky gets to make a perception check as you walk into a magic trap.
Well, this dice I'm keeping for the rest of my life. So just a perception check. That'll be 35.
Okay, you are lucky. You notice that there is a summoning trap in this room.
Oh, I just say stop it, don't trap right there.
He may have the skill to disarm it.
Okay, I'll give it a go. Okay. Will the dice do a 3 20s in a row? I'm not thinking this is a test. Oh god, this is hilarious. I need to take a picture of this.
Natural one or...
No, not 20. There's 30 20 in a row. I'm rolling the
Hey Mark, you roll so many ones that the fact that you roll a 20 is never going to be taken as fake from you.
I know. A 34 upgraded one.
Okay, so you successfully managed to disarm a magical trap that looks like it would have been quite nasty. As you get the smell of brimstone as the trap is broken.
Okay. Trap sorted.
And thanks to the smell of brimstone, Otehr is much more likely to be impressed at the fact that Spiky seems to be picked up a few skills in the last little while.
It's that lack of hair has given her more space to learn.
My brain is not covered by hair anymore, therefore I think better. So,
Isn't that like in not a Legend of Korra where they shave one of the new airbenders' heads and they're like, look, you can now feel the breeze around your head and you can avoid attacks coming in.
Yes, exactly.
yeah, we're
I was about to say, you mean Granny solar powered.
Wow, so many bald jokes there, I don't know. Really.
Well, that's where the spark from Sparky comes from.
Okay.
When you explain it all, yes, okay, it all becomes clear.
It was okay till Martin started to do jokes too. Now, what else was you going to go over and actually check at the door for traps on the other side? So if I can do that while the other guys are searching around.
Okay, as a freebie, I'll say that there are no...
Okay.
Because you did so well and you've had 2 criticals in a row, you walk across to the door and you find no traps. Now, that's up to you if you find that paranoid or not, but that's completely up to you.
I think you're being nice to me because I've got 2 20s in a row, so that's understandable. So.
Either that or you're saying, no, you've just had 3 20s in a row, your next roll must be a 1, therefore you critically failed on your test. You do these rolls.
All I know, this dice is going to have its own personal space in my house now. It's going to be especially looked after on a little pad and everything like that, and like permanent D20 dice here. So.
Well, if it's had 3 20s in a row, then it's bound to have a bad roll soon.
No.
Okay, it's used up lifetime supply.
No, I feel I have good feeling on this one, yeah. So, yeah. We'll find out next week. Okay, so I'll just go and say, okay.
Call it out through a lot of the next. See if there's anything left behind amongst the house while the party's doing the search for the trap.
Looks as if the wood here has deteriorated over time. So if anything was taken, it was probably taken long before the racks were destroyed.
But obviously there's nothing that's been left behind on the racks that's now on the floor amongst the rotten wood.
Nothing here, no.
Okay.
Leave it up to you guys. Doomsday, you want to give it another go?
We're making certain that everybody is actually into the second room before activating or potentially activating the next door, because hey, if the door's going to close after its time, it might be nice to go below the other way, but hey, we'll find that out on the way out.
I agree.
So will Doomsday be hands-on and touch the door?
I will be hands on and I will recite the
Weird language.
I was trying to think of it, you know, like how you say like English, like Orcish.
But it wouldn't be Orconian?
Orconian, you said.
Orconian. Well, no, like I'm just saying, like, you know, like when we say things are written in good English, like badly translated instructions or something. It's like that, but in Orcish.
Exactly. Presumably getting easier to say.
Yeah, maybe by the third go. It's a bit easier to say.
As you chant it, this pillar starts to spiral down as the one behind you lifts up.
Yep. Kind of expected that.
Well, it is about a 15-foot pillar that takes less than an actual action to raise or lower. So it's quite fast.
Yeah. Looking into the space beyond the new pillar.
In the space beyond the blue pillar, you see a polished marble floor of a half-moon chamber in a rich blue hue. Through ancient blood stains discolor much of it, the walls are carved with bas-reliefs depicting naked human figures slitting their own throats. Blissful smiles on their faces. Rusty iron manacles hang from chains along the walls, and an ancient skeleton lies slumped to the south, a curved sword blade lodged in its ribs, as if the long-necked person had plunged the blade into their own chest. You can even see the glowing runes from here.
I would like to do a trap check, please.
Sure.
I think it's a good thing.
Trap check.
Okay. I'm worried about this dice now. That's another 20 in a row. Damn it. I am really worried about this dice.
You know, you aren't supposed to be other numbers on the die, but check. I guess that's a 34 greater then.
Yeah, 34 upgraded, then I noticed the dice got 220s on them.
Ah, one of those dice.
Whoops.
What the hell?
You may have bought a trick dice, Mark.
Okay, I'm not using that dice anymore just for health reasons.
Well, it sounds like the same dice that one of the set that Mark's got, which he's got a set of 2 20s and 2 1s.
Yeah, these 2 new dice I bought are 2 D20s, different dice sets, both the same. Okay.
That would be for a specific game that uses multiple 20s on the dice.
Yeah, okay. So, anyway, I've got rid of those in the dice cup.
Okay. So, yes, you believe there are no traps here.
Okay, anyway, go ahead, Mark.
You believe there are no traps here, as I look up to see if we actually have that weapon type in the new Pathfinder book.
Just confirming the description, the box text description, Martin, you said that the walls had effectively image of frescoes on them showing humans blissfully sitting in their own throats.
That is correct.
And there's a physical skeleton in here where someone appears to have electrocuted themselves.
That does look like it.
Oh, okay.
So you got anyone?
Yeah. Potentially, before going in there and possibly the rooms have some sort of aura effect that makes someone want to physically commit suicide, is it worth just giving a test to see whether or not we can go back out those pillars that we've gone too far in? See when they're tucking the pillar behind us and playing the phrase, we'll actually open it again?
I don't know, does our dwarf want to give up the chance at the magical weapon you see before you?
No, I'm okay with going back. I'm just saying the fact that, like, it might be good to test it to see whether or not if we touch the pillar behind us, see if it'll open again, then we can be confident that, yep, the first door will open, and then we can go forward to the one that we've now opened, to the magical sword. Unless, of course, we want to try and grab the magical sword first. Border's not much of a fantasy of a task.
I mean, unless you can really convince Drizzer it's a good idea to go backwards, which is probably not likely.
Well, there doesn't seem to be another exit from here, so...
Okay, well, in that case then, we might go have a closer look at this sword and the skeleton. And Cornell will head up to the skeleton and crush the skull underneath his boot.
It goes pop.
Oh, okay. He might just crush a couple femurs and humors as well, just to be certain.
They get crushed along the same way.
Okay. It's probably safe.
This time, I'm sure.
Okay, well, I'm probably safe. We'll have possibly safe. I'm not possibly. And yeah, I'll have a look at this sword with the apparent obvious glowing wounds.
You do recognize them as Thassilonian runes.
Which is certainly not necessarily the same as what I would look for what we think of as magical wounds these days, like your striking or power wound.
It does not seem to match those that you know.
Okay.
The symbols symbols do not come across as ones you have seen before.
Not even in the on the Ransurs in the Temple of Wrath?
They were basic runes. These ones appear to be magic and still showing the magic after 10,000 years.
Okay. Well, you got it. On all sides, and then deciding, oh, yep, look pretty. Cornell will try and grip it and pull it out of the skeleton's chest. Maybe put his foot on the chest to make certain they stay behind and get crushed as well, to be certain.
So it doesn't seem to be a scimitar. It seems to be the equivalent of a falchion.
A falchion? Okay, yep.
But it seems to be weighted for one hand.
So what did you say it was?
Falchion.
Falchion. Oh, okay, sorry, I missed that.
Terrible at pronouncing things, so you'll always...
No, yeah, my internet's not great, so yeah.
So it is a curved handle and a really wickedly curved blade.
Cornell will certainly give it a few test swings and see how it feels.
So you can see the glowy runes on it.
Looks fancy.
And then you don't really see the name of the blade there, it's just not there, but you've got this sort of really weird handle on it as well.
That looks really cool.
Okay. That's fine. The picture was too small to see the name of the blade, so that's fine.
Okay, so yes, as you pull it out and hold it up, the runes glow with enough light to light up the room.
Okay. And as I said, Cornell just sorry, he'll trust the rib cage of the skull and he's pulling it out just to be certain.
So yes.
That doesn't matter.
So it is a one-handed falchion.
Okay.
The only difference it is to a normal one is it requires one hand.
Okay, so yeah, well, yeah, Pathfinder's got falchion as a marked weapon with all the take two hands. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You believe the nature of it allows it to do that?
Yeah, that's fine. So we can certainly potentially play with it for the time being, because if you count the mark, like I say, we will count the mark for they haven't got any more than that anymore, do they? Just really uncommon martial.
And it seems to have taken no damage from striking the body you moved it from. And the edge still seems to be razor sharp. Has not dulled with age. looks and feels as if it has just been forged. Even though you're blowing years of dust off it.
Noting that it's not necessarily like Cordo certainly experienced with a number of different weapons. It's obviously not necessarily his preferred blade. He feels very comfortable in using it, so the springs and balance is perfect and that sort of stuff.
It is probably one of the most balanced swords you've ever used.
I'd like to cast Read Aura. See if I can identify the magic on the blade.
Okay, yeah. You do it.
I was looking up the cantrip that is meant to cast.
It's Read Aura, specifically though.
Okay, so you get to make a check to identify magic on the item.
Yeah, I got a +2 to identify magic. So I rolled a... What do I add to that?
I'm just looking up the skills, because it's one of the skill checks.
Like I assume I can't.
It is the identify magic. So basically, you get to tell me what your you could do a cult for this. It's a secret check, which means the GM rolls it off camera.
Okay.
And then I tell you the results of it.
Okay, sounds good.
So what is your bonus?
So my occult is 13, and I get the +2 circumstance to it.
Okay, so you know it is a +2 sword that has something called cruel attached to it.
Oh.
So cruel, you're not exactly sure.
As in nasty.
Cruel as in nasty.
Oh, cruel.
Yeah.
I heard crawl, like as in like crawling on the ground.
So you believe whatever it strikes gets something rather negative upon a hit.
Ooh.
I'll share that with Willie picked up.
It was
Porter. Porter. I will tell Porter about the sword.
Yeah. Well, yes, he's certainly a fine blade. You say he might have a nasty demeanour?
Yeah, it hits something with it. It will there will be some kind of negative outside of what you expect with this +2 sword.
I think these are regular person attacking, or being attacked, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think the person being attacked, but...
Okay, and you read the fact that it says cool, you don't necessarily know exactly how much it's applied.
Yes, that is my concern.
Yeah.
well, it's not a standard magic effect.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Even my knowledge vehicles is confused.
and I'm assuming that there's no scabbard fit for the sword upon this skeleton?
There is none.
No.
And you do get a chittering from your squirrel saying, try not to bleed on it.
Okay, I will pass that on to Porter. Yeah.
How can you not bleed on it if you attack people, or...
I get the feeling I might be feeding it. doing something else with the ritual. My gut instinct.
Your instinct is what whoever's blood gets on the sword is affected by its cruelty.
Yeah. There you
So don't bleed on your own sword.
Yeah. Well, don't use your sword to fix food.
like the other guy did.
Border will pull a blanket out of his and grab the sword up. Looks like still look pretty sharp, so if I've got to hold him right now, it might be nice to just strap him. Okay, so the new weapon up and then actually tie the outside of his pack.
You successfully do that without cutting yourself.
Does the blade look like really sharp? Does it look like it's been here for God knows how long?
It definitely looks as if it has been in that position for many thousands of years.
Oh wow.
It also, it looked like when Cordard flung it around and basically squished the dust off it, it looked like it had put brand new forged as well. Like he certainly wasn't showing years. And yes, the edge was definitely sharp.
Is this like a sleeper, like like a sleeper card? This is a sleeper sword. it looks old and rusty, but hey, it's under the hood.
Well, until he picked it up, it was covered in dirt and dust from years of sitting there. By the moment he started swinging it around, the dust started falling off and it looked pristine.
Oh, right. Okay, so it does look pristine now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looked pristine now. Like when we first saw it, it was covered in dust. The glowing wounds were still visible glowing, but it was very dull glow, probably because it was covered in dust. But when Cordard picked it up, obviously the warp of the living hand activated the runes more brightly as the dust came away, and the sword definitely looked new now.
And it puts out more light than his Wayfinder.
Wow. Doesn't your other sword glow as well?
Oh, the other sword's on fire. It can be put on fire. So it'll be
can be put on fire, right?
This one is the one you can... So the flaming one you can't carry into a gas field area that is flammable, whereas this one you can.
But I was curious, I didn't walk around with the flaming because it carries other light source, but right now it was just going with the Pathfinder initially. So while Cordard's playing with the sword and wrapping it up carefully and tying it to the pack and getting ready to move on again, I'm hoping that the rest of the party has had a look around the room, make certain that there were no other excerpts. Apparently, no other pillars had been dropped. And now I guess we've got to find out whether or not we can get out.
Well, considering I'm starting to get a bit tired myself, and I know some of you weren't doing so well to begin with, I'm happy to say your command word does work on the pillars getting you back to the hole, and we can finish the session with the fact that you're looking down this hole as your next way to go.
That was the end of that whole section.
It was.
Yeah, there were no more pillar hallways.
Oh, right, yeah, cool.
As the next section actually is a multi-book section, I have to pull out the other books as well.
Okay.
Excellent. I've had a long week, so I'm more than happy that we can make a short session. So I'm happy to chat afterwards, obviously.
Sounds good to me.
Same.
So I shall put it on end credits.
Mm-hmm.